do you think, and what do you have to say about ways where we can encounter these problems that we are facing today with the data connectivity?
Actually, I will start possibly by talking about the bigger elephant in the room. There's not one elephant, there are two elephants in the room. The first one is ChatGPT. It happens to be an elephant, actually, a pink one. The other one is a white one. So, this pink elephant, everywhere we start talking to prospective clients, every time it's we are being perceived as we are talking about ChatGPT. And it's a little bit of a problem when
Okay.
decision makers themselves, they actually start with their contextual thinking and mind frame
Mm-hmm.
as we speak.
Mm-hmm.
They are looking at ChatGPT and trying to mold it from there, and it is absolutely not. And this has taken now, in our field, in our own
Yes.
experience, over 2 years now, where we are still explaining to people, explaining to companies that, okay, ChatGPT is AI, that's true, but it's a
Mm-hmm.
different kind of AI because it's actually more than anything else. It's towards the individual. But when it comes to enterprise, you have many things. Just only starting with one, which is data governance, the only one. But then you have so many other things, so many other elements. What about
Right.
the environment that is going to be working through? What about, and now we're still with the pink elephant, which is the ChatGPT. Even
Yes.
when we talk about that and we move to the next step, and the next step goes like this. Okay, so what do you guys know about ChatGPT? And you know what I get? Writing emails, writing letters, and this is writing some, basically writing a script, 2 3 page script max, and that is absolutely waste of use of ChatGPT itself.
Mm-hmm.
Now, do we jump to the other elephant? Yes, we can jump to the other white elephant, which is data. That's more important than this one. But before we jump to the other one is, you know what? At least we can identify and talk about this pink elephant, which is ChatGPT, by showing people how can you really get all the leverage through using ChatGPT on an individual basis. So yes, you can
Mm-hmm.
introduce that for your own employees. That's okay, no problem. But you need to understand that the context is still individual only. It is
Individual.
not. It is not enterprise wide. That should be
Yes.
understood.
Yes.
Now I'll jump to the other one, which is the white elephant, and that's the bigger elephant actually. And bigger elephant here when we talk about enterprise AI, not any AI, but enterprise AI.
Enterprise. Yes.
We have worked without naming any clients. We have worked with a good number of clients, and they're all the largest businesses within the region. All of them, not most of them, all of them.
All of them. Right.
One common problem, and that is they are not able to let go and give and share their data.
Right.
When you hear that, you think that it is only logical, but actually it's not logical. Why? Because we, as practitioners, we work with governance. So we actually don't just go and use data, as we will. We have certain boundaries, we have certain parameters, we have certain ways of, we have masking, we call data masking.
Mm-hmm.
but but then as we have gone through that many times over with the clients in the past 2 years, I'd have to say, we found out very deep inside, it is not about privacy. It is about privacy, but it's not about
Not
privacy.
about privacy. Okay.
What is it about then? It's about actually discovery of data. They don't know how to get to their data. And to make that clarity a little bit further, meaning more closer to the truth, we went ahead and we signed all the NDAs. We've done everything we need to do. And they are more than willing to work with us to go through some of the AI models. And it took months, and we have not seen a piece of data. And that confirms one thing: it's not about the privacy of the data anymore. It's actually
Mm-hmm.
non-discoverability of data. But mind you, discoverability of data is only one thing. There are many other things which is governing the data, which is, if you ask me, one side of the spectrum, the very far left, the worst is
Mm-hmm.
this, which is non-discoverability of data. But the
Okay.
best on the far right is what I call data marketplace.
Uh-huh.
We are prepared to go and work with them to create a data marketplace. But then again, you need to have the teams, the people who work there. It's a workforce. They need to
Inside
be
that.
adept inside
Okay.
the company, inside the enterprise. They need to be adept. And I'm not talking about only IT teams who can divulge the data, but that's only one piece, one part. But what about the people who are going to actually be the consumers of this data
Right.
at the end of the AI output? You need to have consumers of this data. What if they don't know? Now, worst off, what if they don't know from where to start getting the data anyway?
Correct.
So there's a
Correct.
pipeline of the data. And so honestly, if I was to talk about it now, I have a very hard time to actually like conceptualize the real problem because it's all over the place. So I will try to actually maybe share this uh, image I'm going to just put
Mm-hmm.
on here.
Okay.
It's actually an architecture,
Okay.
and really, um, this is ours.
Yeah.
I've constructed this architecture from
Yes.
zero. Just quickly here, it deals with data engineering
Yes.
part, and this means these are bounds, by the way, of data engineering.
Of the engineer.
And
Yes.
it deals with data science after that, and then it deals with data analytics. Notice it's the other way around. Why? Because at the end here we have consumers like alerts monitoring, like campaign
Sure.
management.
Right. Right.
So I don't want to go through the intricacies of this, but I'll just give you an example here. And you mentioned something about legacy, you said, and that is Hadoop.
Yes. Uh, yeah. And one of the things that people talk about and is that, oh, my data is in this environment, and you are. I want to. Certain parts of my data is in one environment, and certain parts of my data is in another environment. Uh, what about how do we handle that?
Okay, let me show you this. This from here all the way to here, this
Yes.
is the whole setup of movement of data. Okay,
Right.
starting with the ERP
Yes.
system, and all the other like app data. All of this data is starting from here.
Yes.
This is your source of the data. Then there are what we call streaming data, and there are also
Mm-hmm.
batch data.
Right.
Now, currently, it's not being like this. This is like smaller, shorter actually, but currently, there's no such thing as non-persistent storage at the very beginning. You start with an
Mm-hmm.
ETL pipeline, which is very heavy. In short, for the non-technicals, in short, what happens is that this journey from here, let me take you to one pipeline, okay,
Yes.
to here, to here,
Yes.
to here, to here, to here, to here, and then back to here, and then to
Mm-hmm.
here, and then to here, and then to here, and then back to here, and then back to here. This is a very long journey. Today,
Okay.
it's the only way to deal with it.
Okay.
Is there any other way? Yes. And that's where we came up with Maestro right here.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
The issue is that we cannot just go ahead and just say to them, go and dump your current environments. But we can do this though. We can help them in having this partition where they can have this and that existing together, so that as they see it,
Right.
as their engineers get used to it, it'll be then introduced slowly, and it'll be much better than what is happening
Okay.
today. How much better? So much less compute, so much less persistent
Mm-hmm.
storage, which means
Mm-hmm.
extra storage spaces, so much
Yes.
less, hours of people. One of these, for instance, I'll take a Kafka. I'll take a Kafka. This is a Kafka. See,
Yeah.
see,
Yeah.
Kafka, as good as it is, and people who are like technical, they know how much powerful Kafka is. But Kafka, at times, you cannot just do this with it, like this, for instance. Okay,
All
and
right.
this, then this. You can't. You have to actually go from here. You'll go to this, but you will need some Spark. So from here,
Sure.
actually, you go down, and then you'll go to the persistent, well, or sorry, transient staging. Okay,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
then you will probably take it back to Kafka, or from
Okay.
there you take it to Databricks, or you take it to Spark, and
Okay.
then you have to take it here, and from here comes back again to, say, Snowflake.
Right.
This whole thing, not only a lot of time and a lot of compute,
Compute.
but it's also about a lot of work for people and a lot of um, space for going wrong, a lot of space for duplication. Duplication
Yes.
is one of the biggest problems
Biggest.
in data management,
Sure.
but because you want to move ahead, you're allowing your engineers. That is if you even know that duplication is taking place. More than likely, you don't know. Only the engineers know, or maybe they don't even know.
Sure.
So, what do you do then in this case? Well, you try some, as I said, some new fixes, new
Mm-hmm.
ways dealing with it,
Mm-hmm.
and you have to have something which we call like monitor, a monitor. So a monitor should be sitting here, and this monitor for us here as we speak is Maestro. So this
Okay.
monitor will monitor here, will monitor here, will monitor
Yes.
here,
Yes.
and it will show you the difference between what's moving here and what's moving here. Now, I will stop from being technical here and I'll go back again and talk about it this way. What does this mean? Today, all enterprises, they need to deal with this, whether they know or they don't know, whether they are ready to or they're not. They need to deal with this.
Right.
There's no way out of this. You have to deal with it. And now what we're saying is that you see this whole stuff can
Mm-hmm.
be actually reduced, but responsibly, so that you can actually go and have your own private cloud.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
You can also have people trained, and that's a big deal here because training is needed, whether it's for the business functions, whether it's for the analysts, whether it's for the data engineers, whether it's even for the top management. These
Sure.
are things because it's a new thing. Let's not rest on ChatGPT to actually come and teach
Sure.
us anything, because it's not going to. It's there only
Right.
to augment our work, nothing else.
Got it. That was clear for me. And thanks for breaking it down because a lot of people don't. A lot of our audience or a lot of the people that we are talking to at our level is they are not so technical, but they want to get an overview and understand how what the problems could be and how we are handling it. But thank you so much. This is fairly clear for I believe for our audience to get a slightly more into this now.
See, customers, clients, they want this. They want
Correct.
alert and monitoring of what's going on from outside, and
Yes.
they want
Yes.
campaign management. They're doing
Correct.
business. They want to
And they're
manage
looking
their
at the end
business.
goal. Yep.
Okay. But
Yes.
actually, they're targeting this right now.
Yes.
That's what they're saying.
Yes.
But there's no way of just going and just jumping all the way and coming here. You can't
And
do
coming
that.
here. Correct. Correct.
However, there is a new solution through
Mm-hmm.
Maestro where
Mm-hmm.
we can have one of those be sitting
Mm-hmm.
right here,
Mm-hmm.
and there is a jump directly from here without being injured and without having to spend that much money. It's a possibility, but
Okay.
there has to be an open ears and open, like
Absolutely.
open mind
Open
for
mind.